hey, I'm just going through the last of my Halloween candy. Let's see here, I got Crunch, heck yeah. I got Butterfinger, also amazing. Jolly Rancher Lollipop, okay. Taco Bell Fire Sauce. You know, now that it's December, I should probably be eating like an advent calendar or something. You see, got my tree all set up. I got a Monty Python ugly sweater on. I'm ready for the season. So let's put this someplace safe.
You know, you also need to be careful about what stuff people slip into your candy. You never know what you'll find.
See, case in point. Some poor kid might have had to suffer through this. I mean, what kind of sicko hides a bad PS1 game with candy? Well, let's go check it out.
So first off, this is a licensed game based off of the Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV series from the late 90s. And in fact, this is the third video game based off the series. But what makes this one special, you might ask? Well, it doesn't appear on IMDB.
So I could hazard a guess that Melissa Joan Hart and Nick Bakay didn't want to be associated with this game.
The game starts off with what appears to be Sabrina, if she were rendered on Celebrity Deathmatch, in a room until Salem rides in inside of a giant bubble.
I swear I'll never do drugs again.
Actually, this is because Salem was trying to steal his criminal record from the Witches' Council, and in so doing, unleashed a chaotic entity of chaos that was trapped in a clock there. Also, apparently he's tried this before, seeing as the first thing that comes to Sabrina's mind is...
Salem, did you try to steal your file from the Witches' Council office again?
And actually, I'm getting tired of the hackneyed use of just saying, again, to make there seem like there's more story there than there actually is. Well, you just look like a bright ray of sunshine this morning.
I didn't get much sleep last night.
Really? Why?
This dude in the cloak in my room again.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, yes, even I'm not immune to it. So shut up.
So after unleashing chaos to destroy all time, chaos does just that, and it's up to Sabrina to repair the timeline. So she starts off in this little hub world where... Oh no. These controls are bad. She handles like she's perpetually running on ice. Lovely. So there's 4 different time worlds to explore, with the first one being prehistoric themed. The goal here is to find all the Zodiac signs in order to repair the timeline clock thing. There's 3 for each world. But I'll go over that after I figure out how the fuck to do anything in this game. Okay, so first off, Sabrina has a pitiful little all-purpose spell attack that she uses to kill her enemies. It doesn't do much damage, but at least it homes in on its target, so that's nice. Considering the controls, I doubt that without that little touch, this game wouldn't even be playable. There's also these special spells, which Sabrina gleefully describes what they do.
Let's send them up, up, and away. Upsy daisy. The flibbity ribbit spell is so gross. I love it. Look out, bad guys. Icicle. Yeah, the Squisharama spell. Time to make them shrink in a blink.
You got that? From our extremely detailed descriptions of each spell, we should all be experts of their uses. Wait a second. No, we're not.
Yeah, just by going on what Sabrina says what each spell does doesn't actually make things clearer. So a quick rundown. The Flibbity Ribbit spell turns any enemy into a frog. Shrink in a Blink makes enemies smaller and annoying to kill. The Squisharama spell drops a heavy loo on a dude's head. Icicle stops enemies in their tracks, which is strange since most don't move much to begin with. Upsy Daisy turns people upside down for a brief time. And up, up and away, blast them into space, never to be seen again.
But the important part is, these spells are totally useless. Seriously.
There's absolutely no part of the game where you're required to use any of these spells in order to achieve a particular goal. The only real reason they are there is for a variety in attacks. In fact, most times I either just use my primary spell, or I would use a special spell just to get past an annoying enemy here or there. Most times you could just incapacitate a dude and run right past him, and by the time they get back to normal, you're too far gone to give chase. Then there's these fucking things. These little bastards that either run right for you or run around in a chaotic haphazard circle, and guess what? They're invincible! I can't imagine just how many minutes upon minutes gamers have wasted trying to kill these guys.
Mostly because I can't imagine many people spending the time to even play this game.
There's really no way to know about invincible enemies beforehand, so as far as I could tell, this is a beginner's trap. Your best bet is to run past and hope you don't get hit. I mean, you could argue that Salem tells you about them, but no, not really. There are these little zipper holes where Salem comes out and tells you a random hint.
Repeat after me. Don't play with baby mammoths. Don't play with baby mammoths.
Thanks, Salem. A little late for that. These areas also serve as checkpoints, so if you die, you end up back here instead of at the beginning of the level.
At this rate, you're gonna live forever. Not a bad idea.
No, Salem, I just said that you could die in this game. Bad kitty.
The main ways I died playing this game is from jumping. This jump is pathetic. When you jump, there's like a 90% chance of landing on exactly what you're trying to jump over. Like these crystals. Most of the time, you're taking that hit. And don't expect to find much health around because enemies drop nothing when you kill them. And you can only find health in crates. And there's also 1-ups scattered around too. But that barely ebbs the tide of falling to your death on these treacherous jumps. Also, is it me, or does it sound like they indeed got Nick Bakay for Salem, but I just can't tell if that is in fact Melissa Joan Hart or not?
Well, look who's here, the trouble-causing cat.
It's my Sabrina.
Hey, no fair! I gotta run all over the place and you get to zip around in a bubble?
Oh, okay, so it is her after all. I don't know, maybe she was just having an off week or something. Nick Bakay sounds spot on as Salem though. I can't really fault him on that, but what's being said though?
The girls got loot. I see a shopping spree in your future.
Now, game. I just got done talking about Gex and its annoying voice clips. Don't make me do the same thing to you.
Ever heard the ancient Japanese saying, "He who zaps monks first laughs last"?
Say what?
Salem! It's stupid lines like that made you get replaced by a non-talking cat in the new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
There's no time like the present.
Well, there used to be.
You're lucky I liked you in the show.
So let's talk Zodiacs. As I said before, there are 3 Zodiacs per world, and the first one you'll come across each time most likely is by reaching the end boss. Here, he's a caveman troll thing, and all he does is throw rocks at you. Just hit him enough with your magic and he's done. And that's the first Zodiac piece. Here's where things get a bit tricky. So hopefully you've been collecting these gems that are littered around the level. What's a little bit of collecting thrown into the game too, huh? Well, you need them in order to buy outfits from each world. Yeah, this weird creepy guy in the hub world is actually a tailor.
Diva's the name, fashion's my game. Let me tell you the secret of the universe, sweet cheeks. Clothes.
Can you tell that this game was designed for little girls yet? Only the best for our chosen demographic!
So you buy the costume for 100 gems from this gay guy. I really hate to have to jump to conclusions on that because they don't explicitly say so, but just look at him. Listen to him. This is gay blackface, or gay face, or Mac Tonight face?
Burgers.
So you get the costume, put it on, and now you can go through the door. But not just any door, a specific door in a specific level that requires a costume in order to open. In the prehistoric level, you need the Egyptian costume, so you actually need to run through the Egyptian level and collect gems and then beat the boss. This time, it's raw. Watch out, because instead of just throwing stuff at you, he also sends a mummy at you. Ooh! Get that Zodiac piece and then buy the costume and then go back to the prehistoric level to get to the door, and then you can open it to find some platforms and the second Zodiac for this world. And don't forget to rinse and repeat for the other worlds also. The Egyptian world needs the Japanese costume, the Japanese world needs the Western costume, and the Western world needs the prehistoric costume. Simple enough, right?
Can you imagine being barred from entry somewhere just because you weren't wearing the right clothes? Sorry guys, you can't come in. Your Majesty! Come on in. You're wearing a costume. You could come on in. Hermes, no, bad Hermes. You don't get to come in because you're not wearing a costume. That's okay. So how'd you get out here? Ooh, Super Mario.
So how about that third Zodiac? Well, it's rather simple. All you need to do is find the misplaced relics from each world and then return them to their native time. Oh, but it can't be that easy, right? Well, you're correct. you have to find a particular place to put them. Luckily, there's a ghost copy of the item where you need to drop them, and finding the objects isn't too incredibly hard, seeing as they're floating and spinning, and it's rather obvious. The weirdest part is that there are no displaced objects located within the prehistoric level. You'd think 4 objects, 4 worlds, 1 object per world, right? Wrong! 2 are lost in Japan, just to fuck with you. So once I placed all 4 objects and got the last Zodiac, it's time to fight the boss. You know in most games how you use all the skills and moves you've learned in tandem to defeat the boss, making the whole adventure culminating up to that moment? Well, this game doesn't do that.
This game's final boss, and you're not even gonna believe me when I say this. This game's final boss is fucking rock, paper, scissors.
I can't believe it. I really don't want to believe it. This game's idea of a final boss is a fucking random chance game where you're either gonna get lucky and have the chance to hit this bad asshole, or he's gonna hit you. I say get the chance because in the rare times you get the advantage, he runs like a little bitch and you have to chase him down with these slippery ass controls. If he gets the advantage, you might as well not run because he catches you every single time. And here's the real kicker. You're gonna need at least 5 lives stocked up in order to even have a decent chance of winning. I went in with 3 a couple times and lost every single time, meaning I had to go through levels over and over again until I got enough lives where I could confidently live through this onslaught. And once it's all over, Sabrina and Salem just have a little cutscene that basically shrugs the whole game off like it was no big deal.
And that actually sums up the whole game, actually. It's no big deal. Because no one ever played this crap. Well, except for Kadikarus, and he didn't even finish the game.
Overall, this game is forgettable at best and clunky at worst. The controls are awful and slippery. The graphics are okay. I didn't mention it before, but I think they're at least passable. The elements of the games don't really mesh that well together, and it's like the developers heard that this is what some games had, and so they had to have it too. And then the boss.
You know, I would think that a game that was based off Sabrina the Teenage Witch would actually be a lot more creative, considering that the show it was based off of had lots of creative ideas and situations in it. Instead, we got a stupid little time travel fetch quest bullshit game.
And another thing, this Chaos Entity was a shitty antagonist. All he could do was affect 4 time periods and displace 4 items that a teenage girl could pick up and take back to where it belongs. Talk about weak.
I don't know, but this isn't the only Sabrina game that's out there. So, for all I know, they could actually be good. But what I do know is that my cat could probably come up with a better game idea than this. What do you say, Simba? Brilliant!
Hey guys, thanks again for watching my video. If you like what you see, you can leave a like or a comment or subscribe if you really want to. I'd also like to give a little shout out to my kitty cats, Simba, Socrates, Nala, and Hermes, my puppy. They helped me out really well on this. They did a good job. They're cute too.